Okay.
Okay, so this is us meeting for the first time, talking for
Yes.
the first time. I appreciate you reaching out to me to talk about a project you have going on.
Yeah. So I am working on the line. So you said you saw the video, which is super exciting. I hate being on camera, so this is also extra weird for me.
Wow.
But yeah, so that's what that video is that you watched. But On the Line is a short film that we're trying to shoot. We're crowdfunding for it right now. And yeah, we need some help. We need some shares, we need some love. But we have a really great cast and crew that I'm super stoked about.
Okay, so I
So
will link the video, but can you give a little background to people who haven't seen it yet or like how this project came to fruition?
yeah, so I'm a filmmaker. I used to work at a larger corporate company, and we had about 100 plus video editors that were all there, and a group of us like came together and we started doing these 48-hour film projects together. So that's where like you have 48 hours to make a film, from pre-production, from writing to pre-production to production to the post, and getting it submitted. So it's super intense, also very stressful. So if you can find a group that can do that and do that really well, then you have a really good group on your hands. And I happen to find a group that worked exactly like that. So we've done multiple of those together. And we finally decided like, hey, why not like make a production company and see if we can actually do things. So we're kind of like working on that in the background for more corporate type stuff. But then for fun, we're also doing these creative projects. So this would be our first non 48-hour film
Hmm.
that we want to make. And yeah, there's it's stressful. It's a lot. 48 hours are they're easy in the sense that like no one gets paid. You don't have to worry about too much money, right? Like it's like a $500
Oh,
budget.
I see.
And you just kind of like knock it out, and everyone is just there to have fun. For this one, we're bringing in professionals. We're bringing in, I mean, we are all
Hmm.
professionals, but we're bringing in
Yeah.
other professionals,
Yes.
and we're trying to pay people, and we want to do it right, and it's going to be a 2-day shoot plus all of the post production. So now we're looking at like a $10,000 budget to get this
Okay.
done and get it done well. So
It'll happen. It'll happen.
I I've got my fingers crossed for it. The story itself, the script is done for the most part. I need to tweak it, and I need to work with the actors that we actually just cast like last week or 2 weeks ago.
Exciting. Wow.
Yeah, so I need to work with them on the script and kind of see like where pain points are, and things that can be like tightened up or adjusted. But no, the story is technically 100% complete. It is a sapphic, post-apocalyptic sapphic love story.
Mm.
It's pretty light on the don't expect anything like spicy or steamy or anything like that, right? It's kind of cute and innocent, and it's like very early
Okay.
stages of a relationship kind of developing.
Okay. Oh, okay.
But it is about two women that are from like different factions in the post-apocalypse
Mm.
that end up getting stuck in a safe house together.
Mm.
And Naomi is one of the protagonists, Bailey is the other.
Mm.
Naomi basically is taking care of Bailey's wounds and has to kind of get over her hatred of the other faction.
Wait,
um
physical or emotional or both?
oh my god, both. A little bit of both.
All right, all right.
No, so for Bailey, it's a physical wound that she has
Okay.
that Naomi is trying to take care of.
Oh, okay, okay.
Naomi has to get over her own emotional trauma,
Mm,
to kind of get there.
I see.
But yeah, and then like throughout the days that they're there, Bailey tries convincing Naomi like, why is it important for us to work together?
Mm.
And they also discover that they have this like secret shared childhood bond, that kind of
Ooh.
just like helps move things along a little bit. So yeah.
Wow. Okay, you mentioned this in the clip, but
Mhm.
again, for people watching here, what inspired you to become a filmmaker or create stories like this?
Yeah. So I've honestly been a storyteller since I was a kid.
Mm.
I started drawing when I was really young. It primarily started with like me drawing Dragon Ball a lot.
Okay.
Hilariously, I started drawing men and could only draw men for a very, very long time. So,
Wow.
but
Interesting.
yeah. So I have this like really vivid memory from when I was a kid when I was in Germany
Hmm.
and I was watching Sailor Moon and I saw the Haruka and Michiru from Sailor Moon like death scene and it like hit me hard when I was a kid and it hit me hard enough that like it still resonates with me. And at the time I didn't really I guess I didn't really clock this because I was young. I was like 10 or 11, honestly. But the German version of the show made them best friends. And then when I came to the US, I found out they were cousins, which made it even weirder because of just how gay they are, right?
Okay, yeah.
So
Mm.
that was kind of like one of the first times that I realized, like, oh, there's something here that I don't quite understand, and
Mm-hmm.
that is being changed. And then, you grow up, you watch more media, you figure out who you are. I figure
Hmm.
out I'm gay as heck. I don't know if I can cuss on this or not.
Yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah.
but
However
yeah,
your language goes. Yes, yes.
okay, yeah, no, well, I figure out I'm gay as fuck.
Me too.
And yeah, so I go and I look for different sapphic media. I look for movies, I look for manga, I look
Hmm.
basically anything I could find, I try to devour. And with
Hmm.
movies and television in the US especially, like I'm sure you know and you've experienced this, right? But like there's the Hays Code where the only kind of gay stories you can get is if it ends tragically. There's the constant like accidental killings of lesbian characters. There's the censorships that are going on and things
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
Xena. So I basically, this is such a long story, but basically I
No,
came to the
no, please
conclusion
share, share.
um that if I want like the stories that I want to tell are few and far but or the stories that I want to consume are few and far between. So
Hmm.
the only ways to get there is if I just start making them myself.
Right.
So yeah, so I
That's
started with
amazing.
thank you. Yeah. Started with drawing. I tried to teach myself how to draw women
When was
after
this? When was this, may I ask?
oh my God.
Like how many like years ago, or if you like what age did you start? So you said you were 11 when the Sailor Moon clip
Hmm.
hit you. So then what was the time period maybe of that to actually, pushing something forward for
I
yourself?
think I think I must have been like 15 or 16 when I
Oh
finally started
wow.
realizing
Okay.
like, okay, let's make some sapphic stories, like let's draw sapphic
Wow.
characters. And in between that time I had found like boys love stuff and was really into it because that's like so easy to find in terms
Wait,
of
what is it?
manga. Boys
Okay.
love.
Okay. Oh,
um
yes, 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 yes.
right, and that kind of, so because I drew men, I just drew a lot of gay men. And then eventually I was like, no, I really need to focus on women. Like, what is wrong with me?
That's my
um
actual focus.
yeah, that is actually what I care about. So
Oh,
yeah, I was
yeah.
probably like 15 or 16 when I started drawing, like, and creating characters in that sense. And then filmmaking didn't happen until well after college. I've been doing filmmaking for a few years. And there's this one story, it's a feature that I've written at this point that
Mhm.
we're kind of in the very early stages of trying to get produced. Like we need funding for that, and that is a whole different ballpark from
Mhm.
in terms of filmmaking. And that's a story that kind of been living in my head for over a decade. And in 2019, I went back to school for a post-bac certificate program in advanced media production technology.
Ooh.
And there was a script writing class that I was taking, and we were supposed to write a 20-page short film by the end of the year. And I ended up writing a 124-page feature, which was that
Wow.
story that's been living in my head. So that's probably that with the start of my filmmaking, my script writing career, I guess.
Wait, sorry, just to recap, you took
Yeah.
class, a year you had to produce this 20-page script, but ended up being 100 plus, and
Yeah.
you've been holding on to that for like a decade now.
So no. I've been holding on to the story for over a decade. I've been holding on to the script for half a decade at this point, I guess. Um,
Wow. I've been really into my creative process lately and like
mhm.
like putting out things versus consuming things. like
Hmm.
trying to be equal or more. Because I have all these ideas as well that sometimes they just sit with me and I'm like, wait.
Yep.
So I tried it's very early, but I had this idea and I was gonna write or starting to write a book,
Hmm.
but I was getting nervous. I was like, what if this idea comes out before my idea is done? Or like, I don't want to hold on to, because this is not my thing. Like, I'm not a filmmaker. I'm not, but storytelling, that's definitely something that's always captured my interest, like writing. It's something
Hmm.
that unfortunately I don't give time to. Yeah, how you hold on to that and like, I'm sure you want it in the world, right? Right?
Oh my God, I want it in the world so bad. And everyone
Wow.
that's read the script so far, like, really, really loves it. The problem is with filmmaking, especially, like, I have the script is written, but that doesn't really matter because no one's ever going to see it unless it's made into a film, right? It's not like a book where I can just like publish it and now everyone loves
Mm.
it. Now, mind you, the
Mm.
very, very original version of this started as a fan fiction in my head. And so I wrote it not as a fan fiction, but I wrote it and then I just like changed the names to the correct fandom and uploaded that to AO3. Not that like anyone read it, but still it is there. But that aside, like no one's ever gonna experience the story unless we turn it into the film.
Oh my
And
gosh.
features are expensive. Like,
Mm.
I mean, I'm thinking I'm probably gonna need like $100,000 budget
Mm.
for this
Mm.
feature, and that is still considered so small. Like that is such a small
Yeah,
budget in the
right.
film world.
Right.
So yeah, I guess if you want to get into filmmaking, you really have no other choice other than to either option your script and hope someone buys it and then does something with it, or you just hold on to it for as long as you have to until you get the
Oh,
money together.
I
So,
mean, makes sense, the logistics of it.
mhm.
So have you always known you wanted to be a filmmaker since you had this interest when you were 11, 15?
So I really wanted to be an animator originally.
Okay.
I went to college in Richmond, Virginia at
Mm.
Virginia Commonwealth University, and I
Mm.
was like, I'm going to art school. I'm going to be an animator. This is going to be
Hmm.
great. I'm tired of CG. I'm going to be bring hand drawn 2D animation back, right? And so I got into this program called kinetic imaging, which is it's a BFA, so it's a fine arts degree. So it's really
Hmm.
about like the experimental, artistic sound, video, and animation. So I went there kind of for the
Hmm.
animation. And then
Hmm.
I realized that animation is fucking insane and it takes a lot of work, and I do not have the patience for it.
Ah,
Um, but I kind of discovered my love for video in the process. And so
love that.
um ever since, so this would have been like 2010 is when I started in KI itself.
Hmm.
In 2013 is when I graduated. And once I discovered my love for video, I was like, cool, how do I how do I get this into the film world? Like, how do I start doing this? And it took a few years. And even if I'm not making films with Fourth Floor Studios, which is the group I was telling you about earlier,
Hmm.
I have other people that are coming to me and going like, hey, I'm shooting my film, do you want to edit it for me? So that's actually what I am professionally, is I'm a professional editor and
Mm.
colorist.
Very cool. Very cool.
So I mean, filmmaking, my favorite part about filmmaking is shared storytelling, right? Like, I think the best part about filmmaking are the teams that you build and the connections that you make.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So it took me a really long time to find those connections.
So it sounds like because the space you're trying to create or the stories you're trying to tell, you
Mhm.
said they don't exist or in the ways that you want them to, right? So
Yes.
therefore, you're kind of starting from nothing or, trying to get people that you're not sure if they even share your vision, right? Or imagine how
Yeah.
challenging that could be. Yeah,
100%.
right?
Yeah. And I got really, really lucky with my group as well. My group we are fairly queer. We are relatively diverse. Um,
Love that. Love
and
that.
I say that because like filmmaking as well is a lot of times a very white man thing,
Mm.
right?
Mm. Yes.
Um,
Yes.
so, we have a good group of people, and on top of that, they do share the values. And they listen
Beautiful.
when when we bring things up, they listen. And one of the funniest things to me is, so when I wrote this script and I pitched it to our board,
Hmm.
It was much shorter. It was only 12 pages. It is now 16 pages. So it was only 12 pages. And because it was like such a short script, it was really hard to kind of develop the relationship in a way that I wanted.
Hmm.
And so when they read it, they were like, I'm not really getting like the gay vibes off of this. And I was like, ouch. Like, what do
That's
you
the
mean you're
whole
not
goal.
getting?
What do you mean?
What do you mean you're not getting the gay vibes?
Yeah.
So, my group literally told me, like, make it gayer. And so I had to like go
I
back to the drawing
love
board
that. Wow.
and be like, cool, I'll make it gayer. I can definitely do that.
Yes. Yes.
So instead of like finding a group that's like, nah, this is too gay, like let's bring it back. They're like, nah, push
Oh,
it.
I
Go
see.
go
Push
further.
it. Oh, that's so beautiful.
So
That's
yeah,
so beautiful.
yeah.
Okay,
And
wow.
they're super supportive and everything. And we all tell different stories. So this is gonna be my very first sapphic story that I'm actually able to tell. Which I'm very
Wow.
excited about. So
Congratulations. I mean,
thank
it's
you.
it's rolling, right? The ball's rolling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we're getting there.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you have like a main kind of goal in mind with putting this project out or what you want people to maybe receive from it or
Yeah, so one of the things one of the our mission statements is first of all, it's a I like films that are woman centric. I like films that
yes.
primarily feature women.
Hmm.
Ideally a
I hear
diverse
you.
set of women,
Hmm.
which
Hmm.
we do have in our cast. And so that's the number one. The number two, the story, in terms of the story, it really is about asking the question, like, especially in this day and age of where we are politically, it's about asking, like, if we can stop constantly seeing enemies, if we can stop constantly othering people, and we can start seeing each other as friends and allies, like, what can we achieve, what can be done? And so that's kind of just like one of the questions that I think the film asks, specifically, when you have like the two women from different factions that are trying
Hmm.
to just kind of figure stuff out, and especially when there's a lot of hurt and trauma involved, like,
Hmm. Hmm.
Naomi specifically has a lot of trauma that she has to contend with in terms of Bailey's group.
Hmm.
um it's hard to see people as people when all you can see them as are the things that caused you trauma, and so that's something that she has to contend with
Hmm.
and get over.
Oh wow. You said wait, how long is this short film?
It's 16
Six.
pages, so it
Oh,
should be approximately 16 to 20 minutes.
I was gonna say, so this is 16 to 20 minutes.
Hmm.
Wow, that's a really beautiful like theme. But to
Thank
put
you.
that into that time frame, I can imagine, yeah, developing that can be tricky.
Yes, it is very tricky. And I mean, it really focuses on the relationship between the two women.
That sounds so beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm really, really excited about it too. So, um, it should be a really beautiful story. We should have pretty fun production design, of like building out the world that they're gonna be living in. Um, and I have a great cinematographer that's gonna make it look freaking beautiful. So yeah, no, I mean,
Wow.
just all around, I am incredibly excited about my cast and my crew and my story. So yeah,
This one is your own.
this is my story. Yeah, this is my
Your story.
script, my story. I'm directing it.
Wow. Okay, okay, okay. I see.
And
I
it's
see.
sapphic.
Where are these published? You like YouTube or
Yeah, they're on YouTube.
and they're
Yeah, I
all
can.
the ones you worked on, they're on YouTube.
Yeah,
Like you
yeah,
have like a
yeah.
link. Is there like a channel, a link?
Yeah, I can send
Because
you.
are they all like in a central place or because they're different people's projects, they're kind of all over the
They're
place?
kind of all over the
Oh,
place.
that's
I
what.
will
Okay, okay,
say
okay.
I have some of them on my website, which is just crixellmatthews.com/portfolio. That has a good amount of them. But if you scroll down further, some of my 48s and then some of my other short films that I've worked on.
Oh, I will definitely check that out
Yeah.
and share it out.
Oh, thank you.
Anything else you want to touch upon that maybe you think of or for your project or any last sentiments?
I mean, if you guys want to go check out our Seed and Spark, if you can put a link up there, that would be
Definitely
awesome.
will. Definitely will.
It would be super duper helpful because we cannot make this work unless we have the funds for
The
it. And
support.
yep. And
Beautiful. That's exactly what I want to do with my own project of uplifting your idea. So definitely we'll push that out.